and welcome again to Late Night Parents. This is Ted Hicks. I have a pause because I would say the real Ted Hicks.
You're always the real Ted Hicks.
Not sometimes.
Is there like an imitation Ted Hicks that I don't know about?
I'm not sure, Richie V. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Been a busy week.
Yeah?
How are you?
I'm okay. It's, a lot of stuff going on this week. Personally, professionally, spiritually. What else?
All around. How are things going at the house? I know you're having some work done at the house that was supposed to start.
Work is going on at the house, and I don't want to give I don't want to promote the provider.
Not until they've completed the work.
Not until they completed the work. But I will tell you, the work is going well.
Good.
It's the kitchen.
Yep.
And it's deconstructed right now.
Okay.
So that's what's going on. But what's going on in your world? Enough about me. I mean, we sit, we tweet, we go back and forth with people.
All the time.
Where were you this week?
Part of the week, I was at work. The other part of the week, the middle of the week, I was at the corporate headquarters of Home Depot in Atlanta, Georgia. One of the public relations firms that works with us had sent out some invites, and one of the team was not able to make it.
Okay.
So I was able to step in, and Home Depot this was Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, had invited, there had to have been about 40 to 60 podcasters, bloggers, some TV home personalities, hardware specialists, down to the Home Depot headquarters to get a tour of the facilities.
Okay.
To see how they test the hardware, all the tools that they sell, everything that they sell, how they test it, what the process is. And then there was there was another part for the better part of a day where we were actually able to sit with multiple vendors, the Ryobis, the Rigids, the Milwaukees, just naming a few. They had a nice loft set up with basically a little store for each location, and we could talk to the manufacturers, and they had a layout of all the products and giving us details about the products, what they have coming down the pipe, just background information of the equipment. And the part that I was really looking forward to, and it did turn out to be something that was just a lot of fun to do. Initially we were supposed to assist veterans with some home building. So kind of like a Habitat for Humanity type thing.
Gotcha. But
Home Depot has their own group. It's called Team Depot, which, again, specifically works with veterans and organizations that work with veterans, and they help them build homes. So what happened with us, the weather, unfortunately, the day we were supposed to do this, that morning, was really cloudy and storms were coming in. So there's another vendor that they have that sets up furniture. It's basically kind of like a Goodwill.
Okay.
But they cater not just to veterans, anyone who's in need, but it does turn out there's a lot of veterans there, and a lot of veterans also that work there. So people will come in, they say, you're just getting back on your feet. Either you were homeless and you have no place now, or they've just been able to get set up with a home, but you have no furniture. Okay. And they'll collect furniture from people. They also, I guess, have suppliers that will drop off like prefab furniture that needs to be built and put together. Okay. Which is what we were doing. Okay. So there was, we put together about somewhere between 40 and 60 kitchen tables and coffee tables, for these people to come in and pick out. And they were, as we were building them, they were coming in to get them.
So I want to stop you for a second. So is it regulated to just the Georgia area?
Well, no. So Home Depot does this all across the country.
Okay.
But, of course, the vendor which we were working with is only in the Atlanta area.
Got you. So it's safe to say that type of event that you were at, they go from city to city, kind of like a road show?
Well, I believe, and I have to get some more information on this, that they actually have the Team Depot all over the place.
Ah, okay.
So it's just like a separate group within Home Depot. So we were working with Furniture Bank of Metro Atlanta.
Gotcha.
That's the group we were at there. Great bunch of people. A young lady there who seems like she had been there the longest, was there for about 6 years, and her specialty was carpentry. And she just gave us the whole background on, what they do for the people and how appreciative the people really are.
Gotcha.
And as I said, while we were there, they had it set up so that, we're all there building, but the people coming in who were in need, could be a little embarrassing. But they had it nice and set up so that, all right, they'll come through one side, we're on the other side. They're just picking furniture, saying, I can use this, I can use this, I can use this. Bang, throw it on the truck. And, they do charge a very, very nominal fee for the delivery, either to the door or just a little bit more, and they'd bring it up to the house and set it up and everything. But it was really, really a nice thing and a good thing, and everyone enjoyed being able to just give to the community.
Yes.
That's, of course, you have to do that.
No, you have to give back, and I noticed it. Some of your pictures on Instagram, where it showed you and others, working towards one specific cause. And it's good to know that, when you see these corporate entities, that I guess we see the darker side of them. Right. We see they're making billions and billions of dollars and nothing else. And
I can say from what I've seen with my own 2 eyes that Home Depot does give back to the community as they can.
That's perfect.
Yep.
That is really perfect. 3-day event.
3-day event. Special thanks to Sarah and Ida at MSL Group for setting this up.
Gotcha.
Because it was, once I walked out of my door at home, everything taken care of till I walked back in my door.
Perfect. That's what we want to hear.
Yep.
That's what we want to hear. So, other than that, I want to just prep that, yes, you're talking to Rich and Ted on Late Night Parents. You can go to latenightparents.com. Tonight, we have, I guess I sound like a broken record. I mean, this is something that Brian can play every week, when I say, hey, we got a really great show tonight.
Well, we have a really great show planned.
We do have a really great show planned. Now, if it turns out to be that way, then, that's even better.
Even better.
So, plan for tonight. The discussion topics. One that we kind of had to wrestle around with, because it hits you in your face. While you were in beautiful Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, I'm back home. Just before I get ready to ride the railroad to go to downtown Manhattan, what do I see in the morning? They're talking about 13 reasons why.
Okay.
And for some reason, all of a sudden, the show is about, teen depression and suicide, and,
right.
You hate to say, teens killing themselves or anything else like that.
That's what it is.
Because it's depicted a certain way, because it's Hollywood, it's Netflix. So I guess a few mental health experts started to push back.
What are they saying about this?
Well, it's really more on the lines of parents should be watching this and discussing it with their children, with their teens. Don't just let your teen binge watch 13 hours of this.
I have not seen the show yet, but just from what you described as the topic, I can't see where that would make sense, where you just, have something as serious as this.
Right.
You throw your teen there, you sit there, they watch the whole thing, and then there's no conversation about it.
Then there's
afterwards.
No conversation. So, along with this tonight, our first initial guest that's going to be joining us shortly is Gabrielle Van Rij, who has joined us before.
Yes, she has.
We're going to talk 13 reasons why. We're going to talk about depression with teens that with using social media, and when they try to, I guess, dial it back some.
Right.
And we're also going to touch upon these violent Facebook videos.
It's the rage.
It's every day. There's something new. Well, there's one thing. I mean, we used to say, a couple of things you can expect in your life: death and taxes.
Yeah.
It's a video, these violent videos that are streaming, number one.
Yep.
And number two, some specific airline going crazy with passengers.
How many jokes did we have about that on the flight up and down?
I mean, I'm not laughing about
No, it's a serious
anything.
topic.
It's a very serious topic.
A serious issue, and the airlines are being held accountable.
And they should.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They should. So that's the first part. Segment 2 of our show. Segment 3, around about 30-minute interval. Mr. Ryan Wiesbrock. Now, I say that name to you. You might not recognize it.
No, I don't.
Yeah. And I say to you, buddy, Thunderstruck. Doesn't ring a bell, right?
Doesn't ring a bell for me, but it's probably because my kids are all
older.
20 or older.
Yes. But so it's a brand new stop animation show that was licensed through Netflix.
Ah, okay. And
the creator is going to be stopping by to talk with us. And we're going to talk about his, Ryan's backstory, his inspiration for creating the show, and, basically him creating show generally geared for 6 to 11-year-olds.
Okay.
So, on one hand, you have Netflix, which is, the corporate behemoth.
Yep.
That entity that's airing 13 Reasons Why.
Yep.
And then you have Buddy Thunderstruck.
Well, I mean, Netflix is now just a huge production company.
Yeah.
So they are just another network and airing all types of media.
I like the fact that they won't be dipping into live sports or streaming live sports. I kind of like that, Rich.
You wonder why they decided not to.
It's expensive, Rich.
But they can make the money back.
Right. It's expensive, and when you know your niche.
Right. That's true.
That's like us talking about, I don't know, field hockey.
Right. There you go.
That's like us. It's like us.
Not there's anything wrong with field
hockey.
No.
But it's like us saying, hey, we're going to talk about MMA tonight.
Yeah.
Did you see what happened last week with GSP? I mean, could we wing it? Yeah, we could wing it. But why would you?
Why try?
If it's not your sweet spot. You know what your sweet spot is.
Right.
You know that you are the king of, now creating, original programming.
Right.
That's your sweet spot. That's why you have, 90 or 120 or 200 million subscribers.
But, and this will be something for another conversation.
Mm-hmm.
How long can that run of successful, independent, original programming, how long can that last?
Depends on... I toss it back to you.
Okay.
You look at all the stuff going on with ESPN.
Right. Okay.
All the layoffs and all this other stuff. You look at all the major networks. You look at talk radio shows that are sanctioned.
Yes.
And then you have some independent shows like the show that we're sitting on.
Like us.
Right. How long can you have indie shows out there? It's all about creation. It's all about new ideas.
I mean, yeah, maybe I see what you're saying. It's keep making, and as the old proverbial saying, see what sticks to the wall.
Right.
I guess they can keep making it, but if they have that bad run where people are saying, even this isn't worth my $15, $14, $8 a month, you never know. But time will tell on that.
Time will definitely tell on that. So we had, believe it or not, I think it was 2 months ago, 5 months ago, 4 months ago. Maybe I think it was still cold outside. And we had a person on here that joined us. And they joined us for an extensive conversation, Rich.
I remember.
And some of the stories talked about, people being bullied.
Yep.
Some stories talked about centered around kindness.
Yep.
It's really great to have someone that their motto is dare to be kind and a kindness lifestyle. Miss Gabrielle Van Rij. Gabriella, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me back.
Oh,
welcome back. We're glad to have you.
Definitely. Gabriella, we're going to get right to it because I know you feel like you're right at home since you've been here before and we've tweeted back amongst each other on specific topics and everything else like that.
Yep.
So this past week, Rich was out of town. I was in town, and I turned on my morning news, and the discussion was about 13 Reasons Why, and why parents should talk to their teens about the show. The show itself focuses on a teenager committing suicide and then dealing with the effects.
Yep.
What are your thoughts from a parent's perspective on a show like this?
Well, first of all, I actually really saw the 13 episodes. I saw all of them.
Oh, perfect.
And I had, as a parent myself, besides the work that I do for a second, as a parent myself, I went, because there's this aspect of there's real empathy, there's real compassion, there's real, you don't wish this on anyone. So that's the first part. Second part is there are parts that disturb me as a parent or maybe even as an adult that this goes on, right? And then my third reaction was, believe it or not, I found it getting better as we went further and further into getting to know each member within what happened, so within the storyline. With other words, even people that you don't like in the beginning, you suddenly say, oh yeah, see, they struggle with something. Oh my gosh. So, in a nutshell, it's basically everything I teach, but what I really hope is that parents see it with their children, not the children by themselves, but the parents with the children. And I hope that this creates a worldwide conversation that is not a debate, but more like an open dialogue, like we're having.
Correct.
Like a real dialogue, not just, hey, kiddo, are you okay? You don't have suicidal thoughts, and then go back to your life. I think the movie is too important, or the documentary. I'm going to call it a documentary, okay?
Okay.
So as a documentary, I think it's too important. I think suicide is an epidemic. And I am sure that many of your listeners kind of say, oh, come on, Gabrielle, spring, the sun is out, don't be so gloom and doomy. But you know what? It is an epidemic, and we are ignoring it. So I think that there will be more and more movies like this one or documentaries like this one coming out. And no matter what we think of it, our children are suffering. And so maybe that's the attitude we need to take as parents. Our kids are suffering. Let's do this as our homework. Let's watch this as our homework as a parent. Watch this with an open mind. That would be my advice.
Okay, so now I would ask, let's say you're a parent who has, heard the talk about this show. How do you start the conversation with your child?
Well, I think two answers to this. A, if you watched it with them, then the conversation is easier, right?
Right.
If you watch it without them, you miss the spontaneity of the moment where they have thoughts too, right? You can pause it and you can say, hey, what do you think about that? Does this really happen at your school? That would be my first question. See, because I'm out there, I know this is happening, of course. But that was, that would be, I think, the first question of parents. Does this really happen in your school? Mm-hmm. And I think the answer, not just being yes, but let's say your child answers yes, then draw them out. Really say to that child, yeah, but give me an example, because I don't know. Be honest up front. Let them know that you're clueless.
Correct.
I think that's a really good start.
Okay, thank you.
Tell them that they're in the driver's seat and that you're learning, and then you can guide them. You can't guide them if they won't teach you, share with you.
Sounds like good advice. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gabrielle, I want to kind of change the conversation slightly.
Okay.
There's two different pieces here, and They're both very, very disturbing. What's going on? And you and I have talked offline about this. I mean, it seems like every week or every other week we see these violent, disturbing Facebook live streams. Where do we go from here?
Well, first of all, I think we really, really dropped our values and our standards. And I think as a parent, we need to be clear what the society can do and what we can do. See, to me, I always explain to students, a value comes from our upbringing. And please interrupt me if you think I'm wrong.
No, go ahead.
A value comes from our upbringing, and the standard comes from our society and the environment we live in. So we have gone, see, I'm still from an era where I was lucky. I had a mother at home.
Okay.
So I didn't always feel that lucky. But I had a mom at home. I mean, I had tea and cookies waiting. And I know that is lucky. So we need to bring back two things. What is going on between 7 a.m. in the morning and 7 p.m. at night?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to answer your live stream here is we get infiltrated with other stuff that doesn't touch our home life. It almost seems like the home life is not real where you go home to, where you see mom and dad maybe bickering, or where you only have one mom at home worried sick about how she's going to pay the bills.
Right.
And let's be honest, the parents of today, and I know so because I've been a parent like that, we're busy trying to make ends meet. And the child gets all, and I'm saying child because, that's the way parents think, at least till under 18, if not longer, is we don't get it that the live streaming is a way to get attention. Right. It is a way to be noticed. And I really, really believe that the pull to be noticed as a student, to somehow, at the one hand, we all want to belong and integrate and be invisible, but on the other hand, we want to stand out and be noticed by the group. So what better platform than these social media platforms that are there where we can do something outrageous and be noticed? I know this sounds simplistic, but it isn't, right? It's basically very complex. It's so at the one hand, I want to be noticed. So what is the thing to do? I want to live streaming, but then, oh my God, I'm really doing something bad, right? Because you said it. The false sense of reality. You wrote that to me. I think it is a false sense of reality. But isn't it better for me to do something humiliating to someone else online through live stream and get 1,000 likes? Isn't that going to elevate me from my humdrum life into a noticeable person face-to-face in school halls? It's going to elevate me. It's going to make me feel... It's a false reality, but it's going to make me feel a little bit better than being unnoticed. What do you think?
I think you're probably on the right track there. I mean, I would agree. When you looked at in the past, before we had the easily accessible ways to get your face out in front of 1 million people in a heartbeat, especially if you look at, like, say, suicides, people would write the note, and the note would get out there, or some would do behaviors which would get that attention.
Okay.
But now, instead of we'll say, cutting, and waiting for someone to see that and then getting the attention in that method. Now it's, let me just go right ahead and broadcast this on this live stream to everyone. And what's worse is, of course, everyone or so many people go and look at it as, for lack of a better word, as entertainment, not looking at the seriousness of what's really going on with another human's life.
Okay, but now I'm going to turn it around. How about, and you don't have to tell me, it's just hypothetical. Could you imagine that you're on the radio every week, and your producer tells you, well, sorry, but you have no more ratings. No more ratings, no more likes. We're about down to 10 people listening. Your level of enthusiasm the next week is going to be lower. Your energy level on that is going to be lower. What I'm trying to say is, if you know right now, this instant, that 40,000 people tuned in to listen, your energy levels are high. That's exactly the same thing with live streaming.
Right.
Once you have that audience, oh my God, there it goes. It's like, oh, you go, oh my gosh, this one, oh, and you hear bing, 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 and then you have the little hearts, and then you have the little lights, and then, I mean, it's silly. I know to you and me, it seems silly.
No, not at all.
Yeah, there is something, it's almost addictive. You know, one time I was on live stream, and I swear to you, I said to my manager, I had no little heart. Not one.
Well, you know, going along that line, I read recently that actually, you know, they're doing studies on the effects, the physiological effects of the live streaming and the likes and checking, and they're saying that, you know, those people who, when you go to look at the response to something you've posted or your stream, and you see that, wow, I've got 10 likes, 5 likes, 1 like, that actually releases the same endorphins as what happens like if you're a cocaine user in the brain.
Yeah, I can totally, I would totally agree with that. Yeah.
So what we're really looking at here is, you know, let's call it, it's an addiction, or it can become an addiction at that level.
Well, I think in a certain way, it's already an addiction for all of us. Meaning, if I'm sitting in the car and I will plug in my phone on the system, Bluetooth it or whatever, so I will see immediately as I step into the car if I have my phone with me, because it connects. If I don't have it, the dashboard literally says no phone connected. Right? So just to give you that dumb example, we know we're always connected. Now, for me personally, I need it because I use my GPS nonstop to get somewhere. That's one. The second reason would be we don't know a phone number by heart any longer.
That's true.
That's right.
I really
don't.
That's
true.
Yeah. So that's the second. But the third one, let's be honest. If you and I were face-to-face, just the two of us, for no radio show, face-to-face, and we both had put our phones, you know, with the face down in vibrate mode, and yours vibrates nonstop. What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to say to you, at the third vibrate, go ahead and pick it up. I'm fine.
Right.
Because it is disturbing, right? So what I'm trying to say is we turn it on vibrate, but how many people do you actually see that turn off that entire thing? Because if you really want to have a meeting, you would turn it off, and I, being a woman, I would put it in my purse, or a guy could put it in his briefcase. See, mine doesn't vibrate anymore. I took it off vibrate, so it's only silent. So, meaning when it's on my desk and I work, I actually don't feel it vibrate because I took it off.
Right.
Because I find that disturbing. Right? I cannot write an article with that thing vibrating. And I have taken my own advice, and that said, the world will still exist without me. I'm not that important. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
I have age that goes with that. And to tell you the truth, in 13 Reasons or any teenager, they don't have that. I want to know what's happening at school. because I wasn't at the party. It's like a virus for the child, right? It gets stronger and stronger. I want to react. I want to be part of that world. I want to be part of the popular crowd. No matter how unreal it seems, I want to be part of that.
Right.
Gabrielle, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. We have to have, I guess, part 3 of this discussion because we didn't even get to all the questions.
You do, and also, you know why? May is mental health awareness. So that's really
wonderful.
Important.
So offline, we will get connected and set our dates up because we love to definitely have you back. And if you're ever on the East Coast doing any type of tour, we'd love to have you in the studio.
Super. I'd love that. I love it face-to-face.
All right.
Let's make it happen.
Hey, best ways to get in contact with you.
Okay. Oh, the best way? Gabriella.global is my website, or you go to Author Gabriella on Facebook, or you just do the hashtag Dare to Be Kind.
Got it. Gabriella, thank you so much.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Pretty heavy discussion, Rich, about 13 Reasons Why and, just overall social media use, the Facebook live streams, overall. It's very heavy,
yes.
But a discussion that needs to take place between parent and teen.
And as I asked her, especially if there's so many parents, I'm sure, who have not seen this. They're hearing about it now.
They're hearing about it now.
But they haven't seen it yet. So, for those that haven't, getting to approach their child, that's going to be the key. That's the important part. Starting the conversation.
I guess the tone of tonight is Netflix, since we just talked about 13 Reasons Why.
Yep.
But there's a lighter side of things. Stop motion animation, Buddy Thunderstruck, is also available on Netflix. On Netflix. Okay? so I don't know. Like I said, you wouldn't get the chance to see it because your kids are grown, but
yep,
I would say the episodes are very short.
Okay.
And you might get hooked.
Okay. How long are the episodes?
I think about 10 minutes.
Oh.
Between 10,
these are shorts.
10 to like 20 minutes.
Okay.
And there's no one better to tell us about Buddy Thunderstruck than Ryan Wiesbrock, who is the creator of Buddy Thunderstruck.
Awesome.
And we also have him on the line. Ryan, how you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
Wonderful, wonderful. Hey, thanks so much for taking the time out to spend a few minutes with us.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to Late Night Parents.
Thank you for having me.
Perfect.
Yeah, thank you.
Hey, so Ryan, since now you've had that warm welcome and you feel right at home, we might as well get
so
to
easy. Yeah.
So, tell us about Buddy Thunderstruck. Before you even tell us about that, tell us about your backstory, Ryan.
Sure. Well, I grew up in a small town in Illinois, which this shows that's served as the inspiration for this show. The fictional town is Grease Pit, but grew up in a small town where my dad and a bunch of guys rebuilt old cars and restored them and hot rodded them, and that was just a part of that town and big part of my life growing up. And then I went to art school down in Florida to the Ringling College of Art and Design, and got an illustration degree down there. And then I lived on the East Coast for a little while in Connecticut. Worked for a small company that was doing educational CD-ROMs. I don't know if you guys remember those.
Yes, we do.
I do.
But we did a bunch of jumpstart learning CD-ROMs and a lot of the knowledge adventure stuff and Fisher Price and things, titles for Mattel. And then when that business went bust, they closed down our little studio there. And then I went to work for American Greetings about 13 years ago. And I've still been there, or I'm still there since then. And it's part of the, we're called American Greetings Entertainment. and we have nothing to do with greeting cards, but
Okay.
it's based in Ohio, but they created about 30-some years ago the Care Bears, Strawberry Shortcake, Holly Hobby, Mad Balls, a lot of those are the big ones, but they create a lot of great properties back in the day, and our group creates new content and reinvents the existing content, and that's where I've been for the last 13 years or so, and I oversee development and production for them now, and I had created Buddy Thunderstruck while there. Our creative team, every once in a while, we'll have these sort of internal pitch sessions where we pitch ideas to the group and see if that's something we want to pursue as a company. And it happened to be one we all liked, Buddy Thunderstruck. And I've been in LA the past 3 years heading up development, and just so happened to coincide with when we went into production, which was great because I was out here and I got to be really hands-on for the show. But that's the abridged backstory. Hopefully that was abridged enough.
Yes. And before I ask the next question, I want to also introduce Allie Holt is also on the line, I believe, from Domain Integrated. Allie, how you doing?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you. How are you guys?
Perfect. So we're going to just jump into the inspiration for Ryan for creating the show.
Cool. Yeah. Well, my son was about to be born, and it was our first kid. And I started thinking, man, I would love to do a show that I could have him watch with me. Right. And I just thought it wanted to be pure, and I wanted something to be. I wanted to be fun and just really be something that kind of came from the heart, came from me. And I just thought, what if I could just will something into existence? What if I could make anything? What would it be? And I thought, it's got to be about cars. It's got to be stop motion. And it all just started rolling from there. And I thought of this guy, Buddy Thunderstruck, that's a dog that races semi-trucks. And it's sort of Dukes of Hazzard meets Smokey and the Bandit meets the Fantastic Mr. Fox. It's got to have an 80s hair metal soundtrack and a bunch of driving fast and acting crazy and just funny. And I really have always loved stop motion and thought I've never really seen anything with stop motion vehicles driving fast, where there's this sort of General Lee or Knight Rider, Kit type car. That's the star of it, the co-star, I guess. And I thought, that would be fun. And so I just sort of came from there, and it just sort of flowed probably more easily than some other concepts I'd created in the past. I think it was just pure, and it timed out. My son's 6 now, and we watched it together. He was a voice on the show, and he loves it. And what was great about it being stop motion as well is because everything exists in the physical world. So we got to visit the set, and you see the models and the miniatures and the trucks and the puppets and everything exists in real life.
Right. It's
not just on a computer. And so, it was everything I hoped for and more, because the studio, which we could probably get to in a little bit, they did a phenomenal job, and I couldn't be happier.
So, as I understand, Buddy is a race truck driver.
Yeah. Yep.
So, was there any relation to Buddy being a race truck driver to anyone in your real life?
Not, I probably in a good way. I don't know anybody who actually is like Buddy because he's always inspired by Burt Reynolds. No specific role, just Burt Reynolds in everything.
Okay.
A super cocky, confident, smart aleck guy that's just extremely sure of himself, and he's like a local celebrity. So because he drives this race truck in this tiny town, everybody knows who he is, and he walks around, with everybody adoring him. And so a lot of the episodes just have to do with him sort of, having fun in that world and being the center of attention, or falling out of favor with people and having to, get back on top and that kind of thing. but no, he wasn't inspired by any person, but it was just more the spirit of that world of car guys and this sort of small community that helped each other build cars and liked cars and liked every movie and TV show related to cars.
Got it.
So it's just all that rolled into one.
Got it.
So, Ryan, I have one of my buddies, Todd Vandenberg. He's texting me right now, letting me know that he is now a fan of Buddy Thunderstruck.
That's great.
And also a fan of you because he has it on in his home in beautiful Miami, Florida, where he's listening to the show right now. And he's playing it through his Netflix account.
That's great.
Hey, wanted to mention a very important thing because, now without delving into politics, it is definitely a political time. So tell us about why you decided, or why did your company decide to keep the production in the USA?
Well, it was strictly from a creative perspective. We do international co-productions, and our brands are global brands, and so we think globally, and we try to, because of the digital age, things can be everywhere. Here we're talking, and I'm in California, and you're on the East Coast, and someone's watching in Miami. The world's a lot smaller.
It's great. It is.
It's a lot smaller than it used to be, and for us to succeed, we want to be global with our properties, and so we have co-productions with different countries and different broadcasters in different countries, and it's great. And but this property in particular just happened to. We thought it was best to do it with the studio, Stupid Buddy Studios, which is located in Burbank, because I just felt there. I met with a lot of great stop motion studios, locally and worldwide, and these guys have just felt a real connection to the crew and to the material, and everything about the show itself and the comedy and the timing and what they did specifically from a creative perspective just felt like it really matched the show. And we thought, if we can do the best show, we got to find a way to do it here. And so American Greetings and Netflix and Stupid Buddy, between the three entities, we found a way to make a deal that could work for everybody and do the show here. And it was great because I also was able to be really hands-on and, was involved with all aspects of the show, and they're right down the street. So that was great, and I'd never experienced that in any other production, so it was a real treat. But, go ahead.
So, Ryan, any plans for season 2, or is it still too soon?
I think, I plan for it, but no one's told me that I can do it yet. But,
okay. Good answer.
But, right. No, I think, Netflix, they keep their cards close to the vest, but they, I think it just has to perform well and over a period of time, and then that's when we hear if we get a season 2 or not. But what's great is all the feedback we've seen online and with people creating a lot of great fan art and talking about the show. It's been mostly positive, so my hopes are high, and appreciate shows like yours that are featuring it and giving it a chance to for other people to find it who haven't found it, with all the great stuff on Netflix. And so yeah, we're all hoping for it. We all love the show. We're all really proud of it, and we hope it keeps finding an audience.
Perfect. Wonderful.
I'll be looking for it because this sounds interesting.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. I like the fact that the episodes are quick.
Right.
And it's like, you're like, all right, boom, I can do this. Okay. It's not a full 55-minute show where, everything's interconnected, and you can sit here, you can watch it, you can binge, 3 or 4 episodes, and you still basically have the rest of the day to yourself. You're not just sitting there as,
Got it. How many episodes in the season?
There's 23. Well, there's 23 11-minute episodes.
Okay.
And the other thing I forgot to mention is, when I grew up watching cartoons with my dad, there were always those ones like I mean, with my dad, it was Looney Tunes,
Yes.
Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner, and if it could make my dad laugh, I felt like it was cool, and if I could laugh too, that was something special, and that's something we try to do with this show, and really make it where adults and parents can laugh at it, and kids can laugh at it genuinely.
Good.
And it's not grating. In fact, maybe hopefully as an adult, you go out of your way to watch it just the same as your kid. And so that was the goal, and that's what when we hear that's the best feedback, because it's like, okay, we got it right, it worked. But that's where we're going for, that kind of co-viewing family humor that's layered in there. There's something for everybody.
Perfect. So, Ryan, tell us best ways if we want to catch the show or we want to follow the YouTube channel.
Well, what's great is we did something that Netflix never really done before. We put an episode on our YouTube channel, so if folks don't have a Netflix subscription, they're able, or they've not found it on Netflix, or it's hard to find, you can go to the YouTube channel, Buddy Thunderstruck. If you type it in, it'll come right up to the top. And there's an episode called Thunder Fu, where Buddy creates his own kung fu dojo. And also, it's on Netflix. If you have a kid's account or an adult account, it shows up in both. And those are the places to see it.
All right.
Awesome. I'll be looking for it. Thank you so much for joining us today, Ryan.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. And hey, Allie, we want to just touch base with you really quick. How are you doing? We want to thank you for making this happen.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. My cousin and my niece actually love the show, Buddy Thunderstruck. They watch it all the time, and they're always, like, spitting out little funny, little quotes from the show. It's so cute. So, I mean, and I like it, too, when I'm babysitting them. It's funny.
Perfect. So we look forward to working with your company also in the future.
Yes.
So thank you once again for making this happen, and I will be following up offline with your team.
Thank you.
Thanks again, all right?
Thank you, Allie. Thank you again, Ryan.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Buddy Thunderstruck.
Buddy Thunderstruck.
Tomorrow on the train, going in, I will watch an episode.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Well, we're in segment 4.
Yep.
You're listening to Late Night Parents with the illustrious Richie V, the real Ted Hicks, and Dr. Michele, who is not here tonight.
Take a picture of her empty chair.
Take a picture of an empty chair and put it on Facebook.
Do the selfie with the empty chair in the middle. We love you, Dr. Michele.
Of course we do. Of course we do. A lot of great things going on with Dr. Michele. A lot of great things coming up for this month. I think we're going to do a road show. We'll talk more about it.
I like road shows.
If not next week, then the week after.
Okay.
We're going to do a road show where we're going to do the show. I don't know if there's going to be a studio audience.
Okay, but there might be a studio.
But there might be a studio.
Okay.
In the borough of Brooklyn.
Brooklyn!
Oh. All right, so.
and the needle's just pegged.
So,
well, go ahead.
No,
So I was going to say, this is like the Netflix segue show.
Yes, this is the Netflix. So you know how we have a title to every show?
Yes.
We'll just leave it at Netflix.
The Netflix.
The Netflix. The Netflix.
The Netflix.
You know, leave it at that.
I've got one for you.
Go ahead.
Netflix. Orange is the New Black.
Orange is the new. I'm taking off my headset for this one. Orange is the New Black. Okay, everyone's excited about it.
Yep, great show.
Tell me what's special about it.
Hackers have gotten it.
Oh.
Hackers have released it.
They've released it?
I believe that's what I read.
I thought they were talking about releasing it or waiting for money.
No, what I heard earlier today.
They released it.
Yep. Now, this was literally like shortly before coming over here.
Really? So breaking news.
Netflix was not backing down.
Netflix is not backing down.
Like, no, we're not going to pay.
We're not going to pay you. And you want to release it? So what? Go ahead.
And that's what I was kind of thinking, too. It's like, all right, you're going to release it. When they release it, it's all at the same time.
Right.
Now, I don't know when the intended release date was. I don't know how early this is.
If I was the higher ups at Netflix, I'd be like, you know what? Release it. Release it right now. Boom.
Posted after hackers demand ransom. Yes, it is official. Even reported on NBC.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And the hackers supposedly have 36 other shows. They may.
Oh, no.
This is allegedly. This is as other news sources. So this is
36 other original.
It doesn't go into that much of detail. 36 other shows. That's
pretty heavy right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty heavy.
So, of course, now, where did they get them from?
Where did they get? Who
Right.
didn't change their password when they were prompted to change their password, and they left their password at 12345 or they left their password at password?
Yes. Very interesting.
Wow.
So this could be big.
Yeah, that is really big. That is really big. Hey, one last thing. What I got excited for. Did you ever get to see Logan?
No.
Logan is going to be released.
Yeah, this 20-something this month.
May 16th in the theater, black and white version.
Really?
Yes, one night only.
Okay.
One night only.
May 6th, what day of the week is
May
that?
16th.
Have you what day? Let me look on the calendar.
I'm not sure what day it is, but
May
it's
16th.
going to be released Tuesday.
Tuesday.
One day only.
Thank you, Brian.
The black and white version of Logan. So, I mean, it already felt
that's
like
good,
a Western.
because I think it's the 21st
It's going to be released
is when it comes out
on
Yes,
Blu-ray?
On Blu-ray, yeah.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
So that would make sense. They're going to do that week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So now here's my question for you.
Mhm.
Should I go see it in black and white, or should I wait and get the Blu-ray for it home?
It's nothing like, I mean, it already had the feeling of a Western.
Right.
I think you would enjoy the black and white,
Right.
but I would hang out for the Blu-ray.
Okay.
That's me personally. That, I can't wait for the Blu-ray.
Okay.
You know, I mean, even though I was kind of like, you know, going back and forth over the story versus the book of Old Man Logan and everything else like that, still great movie.
Still a great movie. Okay.
Still great movie.
Yeah, I am looking forward to it coming out. I was sorry that I missed that in the theaters, so I've been waiting patiently for this one.
Yeah. So I think we're almost at the bitter end. Our next show, it's going to be once again with 2 out of 3 of us.
Okay.
I will be in Virginia Beach next week.
Good for you.
Celebrating my nephew's graduation from Old Dominion University.
Big news, big news,
So
big step.
you guys will carry the show. We have a great guest because it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it is.
We're going to have showcase multiple folks during the month. What else is there?
What else? You did something else this week.
Dude, I did 2 great things. I don't know if we have a lot of time. We're running
Okay.
low on time, but I will tell you this much. I was at Yonkers, New York for Consumer Reports.
Okay.
Checking out all their great labs, all the things that they do. You know, Consumer Reports from the wonderful magazines that come out annually or quarterly.
Yep.
Well, they're changing the game. They have a digital subscription. So a lot of the stuff they're reviewing, they're releasing it immediately.
Right. Okay.
I got to see labs that were related to strollers, which I'm done with little ones of my own.
For now, till the next generation.
Right. TVs.
Okay.
Got to see the new OLEDs.
Nice.
You know, the $8,000 to $10,000
Yeah.
OLEDs was there. Also, mobile devices.
Okay.
Followed up on all their policies and procedures and everything else like that. It was a great half a day I spent out in Yonkers. So the couple of folks in the upcoming month from Consumer Reports are going to be joining us. Lastly, I spent the evening one day last week at Verizon, downtown Manhattan, their showcase for the Smart Home Showcase. You name it, a smart garage. your everything connected. Your refrigerator, where you're writing on it, where you can see the contents inside. You can see the expiration of your milk.
It just scans the milk.
It just scans everything like that.
That's pretty cool.
All in all, it was a great day. A couple of demos that I can't talk about because they're embargoed, but they have some a great slate of products that are coming out in Q2 and Q3.
Okay.
And they told me if I told, they'd kill me.
I understand.
All right.
I had a very good conversation with the Consumer Reports rep when I was in Atlanta.
Oh, perfect.
Sat together on the bus. So it'll be interesting to see what's going on there.
Yes. So with that, we're getting ready to close out. But the best ways to find you, Richie V, is...
I am on Facebook, The Real Richie V, and on Twitter at Late Night Rich.
I still can't get over that. The brand. Represent. You embrace the brand. Oh, my goodness. It assimilated
because I was around before the brand was really there to embrace.
Right. So. And I am the real Ted Hicks. And we want to give a big shout out to Dr. Michele Reed, who will be back next week. As we said, Mental Awareness Month is next month. God bless.
Thank you. Have a good week, everyone.
Expressed in the previous program did not necessarily represent those of the staff, management, or owners of WGBB.
This is WGBB AM 1240 and W240 DF-FM 95.9 Freeport, New York.
As a doctor, I see patients every day who are losing their vision to age-related macular degeneration, also known as AMD. If you have blurry vision or blind spots, they can be symptoms of AMD, and if untreated, could lead to blindness. The good news, AMD can be managed with effective clinically approved treatments that may reverse some vision loss. For free AMD information, contact the Foundation Fighting Blindness at 1-800-BLINDNESS. That's 1-800-BLINDNESS. There is a cure in sight.
How to be a great dad in 15 seconds. Bike ride, go fish, walk in the park, phone call, milkshake, play catch, picnic, fly a kite, tell jokes, laugh, talk, read a story, tell a story, bumper car, swing set, bowling, pillow fight, cut loose, stay tight. Whew. Because the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
I'm a volunteer at United Way. I'm asking people around the neighborhood what they think this place needs.
Wi-Fi everywhere.
More playgrounds.
Oh, more ice cream trucks.
I was thinking more money in the pockets of local families come tax time.
Can I change my answer?
I was just kidding about the ice cream.
When it comes to getting better tax refunds into the hands of local families, what this place needs is you.
To donate or volunteer, go to unitedway.org.
Because great things happen when we live united. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.